Nico Clemens talked to drivers caught in the chaos who couldn't do anything but watch as cars kept crashing into each other.
We thought we was going to go off the bridge.
It was a huge pileup on Interstate 64 near the Camp Perry exit. More than 6 cars involved.
When we was trying to avoid the other cars, we had to go around. We hit the side of the guardrail, but we could have went over.
Lillian Oquindo and her friend were inside one of them.
Our whole thought was, please, Lord, don't let us go over this bridge.
An aerial shot from Williamsburg Flight Center shows just how serious the wreck was. Oquindo says she and her friend were driving across the Queens Creek Bridge when a car in front of them spun out of control. They tried to slow down, but it was too late.
But a white truck hit him. So when we tried to go around the white truck to go around, a car behind us going 70 miles per hour slammed into us and pushed us into the other vehicles and pinned us.
Oquindo and her friend were heading to Baltimore. That car is totaled now. The scene is hard to forget.
People everywhere, tow trucks everywhere, ambulances lined up.
The accident happened just before 8 Sunday morning, and by mid-afternoon, part of the interstate was still closed.
But it's crazy.
What makes it crazier is that while all of this was taking place westbound, there was another crash eastbound. More than likely, it was drivers rubbernecking, trying to see the original crash that sent more than 50 people to the hospital. One by one, tow trucks removed cars from the interstate. While Oquindo and her friend may have lost theirs, she knows they could have lost much more.
It's very fortunate, and we just pray that everybody else is still okay and they make it off the scene good and everybody just makes their way back home.
Sergeant Michelle Anaya with Virginia State Police says they don't know the initial cause of the accident, but fog and ice were factors. The investigation will take a couple of days. In York County, I'm Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.
Tonight, the holiday travel rush brought to a scary halt on Virginia roads. A nearly 70-car chain reaction accident, shutting down Interstate 64 in both directions near Williamsburg.
I got out of my car and I went and assisted a woman whose leg was pinned inside her door.
Bray Hollowell captured this video after his car slid on black ice, crashing into the massive pileup. Hollowell somehow walked away, while crews took 51 others to nearby hospitals.
We do not know the cause of the accident at this time, but we do have causative factors, which is heavy fog and icy road conditions that morning.
Despite potentially dangerous weather, more than 100 million Americans opting to drive to their holiday destinations. At least 4 million people are under flash flood watches across the southeast, where a storm system's expected to dump heavy rain and bring with it gusty winds. Major travel hubs Miami and Atlanta already expecting delays. But Mother Nature isn't the only problem. At LAX, this fiery scene caused a traffic nightmare. Flames torching 3 empty passenger buses, prompting a fast response, but fortunately, no flight delays. Over the next 2 weeks, air travel nationwide expected to jump nearly 5%, with nearly 7 million people planning to fly between now and New Year's Day. In Seattle, the issue was short staffing. A lack of baggage handlers led to some missing flights, bags, and waiting hours for answers.
Morgan, with Christmas this week, how do things look as the week goes on?
Well, Kate, today is the first full official day of winter here in Atlanta. The rain is coming down and the conditions gusty. But if you're traveling on Thursday, the day after Christmas, which AAA says should be the busiest of the travel season, well, the good news is that the national forecast is calling for a warm-up, so that drive home could be feeling like downright autumn.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.
Stop parking.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Errol Barnett. The countdown is now on. A record 115 million people are traveling for the holidays, and nearly all of them doing so on the road. And that can be dangerous. Take a look at what took place in Virginia today. Ice and fog blamed for this massive chain reaction pileup involving more than 60 vehicles. Nearly 4 dozen people were taken to the hospital. And of course, this is a cautionary note for anyone heading outside.
Police saying in that news conference just a short time ago that at least 69 cars were involved in the crash. It happened on I-64 near Williamsburg. The congestion was so tight that first responders were forced to walk on top of the vehicles to survey this wreckage. The cause is under investigation, but police say that icy roads and fog could have played a part this coming as millions of Americans are expected to hit the road now through January 1st.
Joining us on the telephone is Brittany McBride, spokeswoman for the Virginia's Department of Transportation. Thank you. What is the situation right now with the highways that are still closed?
Sure. So it's been a very busy day, but fortunately we are winding down. The scene has just finished being cleared about 30 minutes ago, and our westbound lanes have reopened for travel.
And Brittany, we see the pictures right now on television. I mean, it is astounding, this kind of pileup, when the cars are just smashed into each other, some on top of each other. Icy roads, fog. What time did it happen? How bad were the driving conditions where people were driving and came up to someone who was stopped and couldn't hit the brakes in time?
Sure. So we were notified of the multi-vehicle crash on 64 West just before 8 a.m. this morning that closed all of our westbound travel lanes, followed shortly by a second crash in the same location on the eastbound travel lanes. We had quite a few traffic incidents in the same time period. But fortunately, VDOT immediately started coordinating with our first responders. We began detouring traffic off at an exit before the crash site, but also making arrangements to ensure the access to and from the crash site for emergency personnel and wrecker services to assist the motorists.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I would say this section of interstate is actually currently undergoing a safety improvements project with widening the interstate and bridges from 2 lanes to 3. But as a result of this project, VDOT and our local first responders have already been meeting and in frequent contact with each other year-round in preparation for incident management situations on the interstates like this one. So we are already prepared for it. I think today's situation was a true testament to these partnerships that have been formed and working together to get it cleared as quickly as possible.
A lot of reports of heavy fog, and sometimes people don't always slow down, or you come up and this becomes a surprise. What can drivers do? What should they do, especially now that we have the busy holiday season?
Right. The important takeaways, I think, for the reminder to drivers is to always drive carefully, stay alert, avoid distractions while driving, like the phone and the radio, and to especially take caution in any sort of adverse weather conditions, whether it be rain, fog, icy conditions, just to slow down and really pay attention.
Yeah, so oftentimes you're on the highway and they're just flying by you. It's raining or there's fog, and it's like they're going 75 in a 55-mile zone and not even paying attention. Any update on the 2 who apparently have life-threatening injuries?
I can't speak to the injuries. That's the Virginia State Police, but I do know that the crash scene has cleared and our roads are back open for travel.
So I guess the lesson, Brittany, now is to tell everyone during the holiday season to slow down, obey the speed limit, and then you'll get to grandma's safely. So do that, and we certainly hope the folks are okay in Virginia. Brittany McBride of the Virginia Department of Transportation, thank you for joining us.